Welcome back everyone, and welcome back to Zerra's channel and to Let's Talk World of Warplanes. There are at least 5, or I can even say 6 things, 6, how should I say, thoughts about World of Warplanes. And I wish that World of Warships can copy some of the really good stuff. What is going on? What is the difference between World of Warplanes, World of Warship, and World of War Tanks? In World of Tanks, you don't have any second chance. You can do your part, but the biggest problem with that game, listen, I kind of say who I am. I'm Zerra channel, the one who playing 15,000 battles in World of Tanks. So, the biggest problem I have with World of Tanks, it's when you are top dog and you're underdog, probably you cannot harm a higher 2+2 tier than you. Let's say if you're light tanks, you kind of need to go behind, or find the weakness of your enemy, otherwise you'll do 0 damage or do very little damage. Even though you give him 1 or 2 rounds, he can one-shot kill you, your back import in 50 seconds. How fun, I'm just question, how fun is there any possible way that you're back in your garage in 50 seconds or faster? It's like, I'm the big dog, I can shoot you, you cannot shoot me because you don't have any penetration. And the biggest downside with the World of Tanks, it's the maps. They are too short in some maps. A light tank and let's say RT cannot do nothing. It's absolutely worthless to play in some maps. They are too old. It's 6 years old game and they still have this nasty, stupid, idiot short maps. How it's World of Warplanes? Not quite as good as World of Warships. The maps are fantastic, alright, but the biggest problem what I have, and this is the kind of the only problem with World of Warplanes, is that there are too few maps. So Wargaming, please do makes more maps more interesting, and let's say if you're playing this map, I'm talking about, let's say if you're playing this playing tier 7, you only have 1 map. I never in my life play anything than 1 map only, and of course sometimes you get sick or tired. If you're playing, let's say, a tier 5, well, you're talking about now you have at least 4 different maps to play with, or sometimes it could be even more, but I'm not saying that 5 different maps, it's alright, not bad for tier 5, and same things go with tier 6. Tier 7, only 1 map. I never played more than 1 different maps. I don't know what's the deal. I hope the Wargaming makes but the nicest thing about the World of Warplane versus World of Warship is that when you do something good, let's say you capped, when you maybe achieved something, help your team in some ways, you instantly know by having experience in that particular second. So you instantly will receive, like World of Warship, Kraken, Unleashed, and First Blood and stuff like that. But in World of Warship there are very few achievements in the game, so right now I have Kraken, right now I have First Blood. It's kind of obvious, but it's too little. Here in World of Warship, man, you have so many medals in on the spot, right now, and the best thing about World of Warplanes, it gives you a second chance. You screwed you up, okay, you're dead, someone flank you from the rear, or hell, even a bot can actually kill you. You have a second chance. Okay, Batman, you kill me, but I'm coming back, and actually I'm coming back to you and revenge myself and try to kill you, shoot you. You can never do that in World of Warship or World of Tanks. Once you are auto action, you cannot revenge your death by coming back and delete the bot or the player or whatever. Here you do. You can respawn. Second one, and really nice, the smallest plane can harm the biggest plane. So even though, seriously, let's say a very small, tiny plane can take down the biggest plane in this game. Sure, it might take 1 or 2 rounds. Sure, it might take more, let's say, more rounds. But let's say 2 very small plane, or light or multi-roll, it does not matter quite, because over here the king of all HP pool, or actually the attacker, you know, those one who has what, close to 1000 in HP pool. But what I'm trying to say is that even this bugger, which has a lot of HP pool, can be taken down by a small fighter or a multi-roller. So if you and some other friends stick and, you know, focus fire, the best and the strongest armor will not help that enemy. Really good. But the most hype and the reason number one I like this game versus World of Warship is that you have different targets than your enemy. What is your enemy target? Well, for first, it's your cap. This is not a regular standard World of Warship gameplay. There's no such thing as it's only 3 or 4 or even 5 capping points. You have to cap, and capping is winning the game. What I'm trying to say, there's no such thing. We're just flying around, we do nothing. You have to know exactly where to fly, what to do, and you know, and this is also something important. You have so many options of the target. Your target is not just the enemy planes. Your target is the ground unit. Your target is the neutral units that they defending their cap. Well, you have to take them down first to be able to cap. So, in my opinion, you as a pilot, you would have at least 3 or 4 different targets to go. What I'm saying 4 different, because in this game there are something as a bomber. You have to go up in the sky and try to take them down. So that's your 4th how should I say target. Yes, target. It's ground units, it's the neutral bots units, it's your enemy units, and it's the bombers, which they will arrive and they will cap if you're not going for cap. So there's so many things going on. And something else which is kind of interesting, why it's so much fun for me, it does not take 20 minutes to win a battle. Most battle will between probably around 6 to 12 minutes at the most. And even though the credits wise probably is not as good as a World of Warship, because World of Warship, one thing it's really good, it's the credit maker, especially at tier 4, 5, but 5, 6 and 7 it's absolutely broken good. And over here I do believe the sweet spot it's tier 4 and 5, and even 6 could definitely be it. But what I'm trying to say, and this is the most important, it's a lot of fun because there's also more variety. There's different planes for different tasks. For they are good and weak. They have good guns, but they are bad turning radius and so on. So what I'm trying to say is that in World of Warship, the strongest, it's the battleship with most ridiculous HP pool and the biggest guns, and you as a poor cruiser can do very little. Let's say if you are one of the best tier 9 cruisers versus the best tier 9 battleship, in 9 of 10 you always will lose that fight, that battle versus same equal battleship. You're probably, I would like to say, you're just food for that battleship if you're 1 versus 1. Over here, on the other hand, even though you have the nastiest guns and probably pretty darn good HP pool, a small bugger can outmaneuver you and still kill you, even though you have the biggest and the nastiest guns in this game. So what I'm trying to say is that even a very squishy small plane can take down the biggest plane, the biggest and the nastiest of all. A matter of fact, and this is the really nice good thing. Sure, they don't have so much HP pool and probably does not have a lot of firepower, but you don't want to probably can kill him in one dive or one maneuver. You come back and back until this big bird does not have any more HP pool. And I kind of forgot, when you are receiving a lot of damage, some percentage of your HP pool can be self-regenerate. Not a whole lot, but some of it. There's no such thing in World of Warship. If you're, let's say, if you're a destroyer, if you don't have this special ability, heal, or high tier 9 and 10 versus all others, they don't, like, I'm talking about the cruisers, they don't have any heal. But here, there's at least one cap that it's a repair cap. You receive a lot of damage, you fly to that repair, you get 100% full HP and go back to fight. But even though if you don't have that, a small percentage can still be healed even though you receive a lot of damage. So yeah, the most fun, and this is the reason number one I enjoy this game, and I still believe, my honesty opinion, is the best wargaming product of all. It's, you have so many options. Your enemy targets, you have so many different targets. It's not just I'm shooting another enemy plane and I try to delete them. A matter of fact, this game, it's not about to kill everyone. Sure, if you can do that, but most of the time you will win by capping all those 3 or 4 or 5 cap points. And same thing goes also with the World Warship. Capping wins the game. But here you have different, much more different targets. You're not just have one particular, and there is the enemy human target. You have other options, and this is fun. And I still believe, and this is the best thing about it, you focus that, and this is kind of sad to say, because in World of Warship, some battleships captains, they don't give a damn about cap. They don't give a damn to help your teammates to win by capping. You know, they can stay far and try to snipe and stuff like that. That playstyle I don't like. And to be honest with you, sure, you can be confused. You can probably be over here if you don't are map awareness. You can also do the same thing, go in a wrong spot in the wrong time. Sure, you can do it, but in general, to fly heavy fighters from one spot to another, it only takes a second, let's say 30-40 seconds, and you're there. It not takes, you know, 6-7 minutes to engage your enemy and start shooting. And this is also something else. From the time you press button until you have a target to shoot, it's only a matter of seconds. In World of Warship, it could take minutes, or sometimes even 6-7 minutes until you release your first salvo, you know. And in World of Warplane, there's no such thing as wait 6-7 minutes for the first salvo, first engagement, you know. So it's a very fast map. But the biggest problem with World of Warplane is still too few maps. Sure, I would say that World of Warplane, it's more tactical. You have to know what ship is strong and where to go at the first, you know, it's more slow moving, thinking ahead, what's next, and so on. Over here is more daka, fast, take down your enemy. But the problem, it's in World of Warship, sorry, it's when it's standard battle. Everybody's staying so goddamn far where they spawn. They just move very short left and right, and they don't have to go nowhere because it's standard battle. Why the hell move ahead when there's nothing to go for? There's no cap, there's nothing to fight for. And that is the damn biggest problem with World of War ships. Standard battles. There's nothing to do beside stay in your cap and do nothing. There's nothing to fight for. You know what I mean? The only way to win is to basically to kill everyone else. Over here, there's no such thing as staying and just flying left and right and do nothing. You always have one cap to fight for, and the enemy teams probably they capped, and you have to help here and try to recap and so on. So there's a lot of fight going on, even though you thought you're winning, you know, by capping more than just, let's say the enemy team have one cap and you have three. Well, the enemy team, the better they have to do something about the camp, because the points will go on and they will lose if they're not starting to focus, you know, our already capped. So it's different, but in general, you understand there's few things that I would like to say some improve from wargaming about World of Warship, and I hope you agree with me. What I also kind of like in World of Warship, there's a lot of maps, but unfortunately some maps are absolutely worthless if you're playing a cruiser. There's nothing to cover, and you're just food. It's like a KV2, it's aiming at you and bang, you're back to your garage in just the first salvo what he made. So yeah, this is by far very interesting, at least that you have a chance to do some damage versus your enemy, which could be neutral targets, ground targets, and of course human players as well. So guys, please leave me a comment below. What do you think about all those three games? I still believe they are all different, and sure, I'm not saying that one game it's worse or much better than the other, but this is my personal opinion about those three games. And by far, I know this sounds very weird, I'll say that World of Warplanes, what I feel right now, it's number one. World of Warship, it's second, and third it's World of Tanks, but because they did not change the maps in the past, I don't know, 6 years or something. I know they give a new Paris map, good for heavies, but nothing good for the tank destroyers or light tanks. That's the biggest problem. They don't give to make new maps, and same things also in World of Warplanes. They really need to create new maps to be more enjoyable for everyone, so everyone can you know, play more than only one map. So that's what I'm trying to say. So guys, thanks guys for watching. Subscribe to my channel and leave me your comment below. What do you think about the difference, and which one of those three games do you enjoy the most and why? I wish you have a good one. Take care and bye.